in. All right. Well, thank you,
And
ladies,
I'm not too far from
so
home. I'll be there.
much. Yes, thank you, ladies, so much for taking the time to meet with me here in Hello Monday. So today, like I mentioned, we are going to do a little bit of business planning. So we do have um a business plan book. So this, I'm going to show you guys where you can find it afterwards. We're going to go through half of the business planning, and then we're going to touch a little bit on a couple of resources as far as tracking goes. So the first thing what I want to do is well, let me share my screen. Okay, so you guys have access to the agent playbook, right? Within this playbook on Google Drive, we have all of the resources which you guys are aware of, right? So within this playbook, I also included the business planning. So it says for 2022 and beyond, we got this from Brent Gove. You guys should know who Brent Gove is, from EXP. He's an incredible person. He's a grower in EXP, and just he's the one that created the video, the intro video that you guys probably saw in the beginning. So he created this business planning book, and it's really incredible. So we're going to go over it, at least the first 6 pages, because I think that's what's going to benefit you guys the most. But you can print this out, when you can print it out, fill it out, and we're going to go over it a little bit as far as the beginning. So the first thing is, all right, when you talk about real estate, you guys obviously got into real estate for a reason, right? There's a purpose, there's a reason why you got into it, what you want to achieve. So the first thing is what do you want from real estate, right? He really wants you to tap into that, because if you have a clear goal as to what you're looking to strive for, right? We can reverse engineer it so we can achieve that goal, right? And this is what is really about, is okay, what will it take, right? So he says to think about it, right? This business book says think about it, and you want to jot it down. What is it that you want from real estate? First thing. Then the second thing, which is just as important, what are you willing to give up to get what you want, right? So Zig Ziglar says something, and he says, anything worth having doesn't come easy, and anything that comes easy is usually not worth having. So that's really important, right? Because it's like, what are you willing to get? I mean, we have dreams, we have goals, right? There's things that we want to achieve, and you know, it's not going to come easy. There's a saying also that says, you can't have your cake and eat it too. There's something that you have to give up. So what are you willing to give up? What are you willing to sacrifice? So you want to take some time to think about that, right? Because that's just as important. Like, you don't want to spend, when you know you can be working on your business, you don't want to like binge on Netflix, right? Like, if that's something that you like to do, that might be a sacrifice that you have to take, you know, to actually start really, utilizing your time very well. So number 3 is, how will you capitalize your business? So what I got from this is, okay, what are you willing to invest in your business? Because you are going to have to invest something, whether it's money, whether it's time, you have to invest into your business. So how will you capitalize it? What are you going to do? So jot some ideas, whether it's, maybe I'm going to invest in a dialer, or maybe I'm going to invest in some sort of lead generator. Maybe you're going to, get some really nice resources. Like, we were on Gap Mastermind today. Oh my gosh, it was so incredible. So there was this lady that was on it, and she's a luxury agent in Orlando. And she's a huge rock star in like open houses, and just, really, how do you say? She's creative, like she thinks outside of the box. And one of the things that she shared with us was, she prospects for expired listings, like luxury expired listings and cancel listings. And within her package that she sends out to these owners is literally like, it's a book where you open it up, right? You open it up, and then when you open it, it's like a little tablet, and once you open it, it activates the video that's within the tablet, and it's her talking. It's like her talking to the person. It's saying, hey, just talking a little bit about herself, talking about what she can do for the person. And I'm like, what? Like, obviously, she invested in her business, to be able to have a resource like that. But that's creative. That's thinking outside of the box. And that is what, maybe you might have to invest in little things like that where you just want to impress your clients, right? Impress your sellers, impress your buyers. So I just wanted to share that, which if you guys want to watch the replay for the Gap Mastermind today, I would highly recommend it. It was really good. You can find that in the Global Alliance University, which I believe I sent you guys the access for that as well. And if you don't have it, let me know. I can resend it to you. Okay, so the next thing is, how much do you want to make? So this is your magic number, right? Everybody gets into real estate with a magic number. Like, I need to make, $100,000. I need to make $200,000. What is that number for you? What would you want to make? And then the next page is going to be reverse engineering that, right? So Jeanette, I know that you are stationary and you can probably jot down some notes. But Michelle, when you get a moment, you definitely want to do this exercise because it's reverse engineering this number. So if you're saying that you want to make $100,000, right? The next steps is reverse engineering that. So $100,000, it says take that income and divide it by 20,000 hours, which is the amount of hours that you're going to invest in your business, right? You're going to work in your business. So if your magic number is $100,000, you divide that by 20,000, and what do you get? Jeanette, do you want to tell me?
Yeah, I did mine a little higher, but
Okay, girl, tell me what you got.
I put down 250.
Okay, so how much is it for 250? So if you take $250,000 and you divide that by 20,000 hours, what is your dollar per hour?
250. It says 12.5.
Let me see, 250 divided by 20,000.
20.
Is that right?
1,000. 12.5. Yeah, that's weird.
Divided by 20,000. Oh, you know what? Sorry. Divided by 2,000.
Oh,
Sorry. What do you get?
125.
$75?
125.
Divide that by 2,000. Yep. That's your dollar. That is your dollar per hour. So when you're in your business, right? When you're working in your business, you want to keep that number in mind and in front of you. And a good exercise or a good thought process you should have when you're working in your business is, what I'm doing worth $125 an hour. Okay, that's really important, because if what you're doing isn't, then you shouldn't be doing it, or you should set some time outside of business hours to do it. So, just keep that in mind when you are working inside your business. There's a difference between working in your business and working on your business. Working in your business is prospecting. It's, finding new deals, finding new, clients, responding back to clients, following up, right? Doing open houses. That's working in your business. Working on your business is maybe doing flyers, sending out, emails or whatever the case may be. Like, that is working on your business. So you take your income that you want to make, you divide that by 2,000, 2,000, not 20, 2,000 hours. That is your dollar per hour. Now, the next thing is hire an assistant. Now, I'm not here yet. You might have the funds to do this. But if not, eventually you do want to hire maybe a virtual assistant to help you with some of the tasks that isn't $125 hour work. Maybe it's responding back to emails, scheduling appointments, things like that. Those are the type of things where you can then delegate once you're able to do that. Okay. So number 7. Now, this says plan your work, work your plan. So basically what this wants you to do is break down, how many buyer side sales do I want to have? how many seller side sales do I want to have, and then total it all together. So for me, for easy numbers, I just did buyer side sales 10, seller side sales 5, and altogether is 15, right? I just did easy numbers. So you can do whatever you want. So if you think that you might be, a rock star buyer's agent, maybe you want the majority of your business to be buyers. If you can see yourself being a listing agent, maybe the majority of your business is going to be sellers. So depending on where you can see yourself, you can kind of like jot down these numbers and then total it. This is important for the next step. Now, well, the step after that. Number 8, your average sales price. Do any of you know the average sale price for your area?
Mine's like 350,
Okay,
somewhere around there.
Jeanette?
I don't know mine.
Okay. Well, I searched this up this morning. And I actually found, so I did 3 cities and I found the median sales price for each one. So Cape Coral is actually 405. And Fort Myers is 487.
Or all of Cape Coral and all of Fort Myers.
Yes,
Yeah.
so it's the whole Cape Coral, whole Fort Myers. Lehigh Acres is $347,500. And then I did Bonita Springs as well because I thought Diana's gonna be here because I know she's from Bonita Springs, but Bonita Springs is 615 for the median sales price, which is crazy. I didn't even know it was that much, and so I did the research this morning.
Wow.
Which is pretty incredible. So know your average sales price. So if we're talking just Cape Coral, the average sales price for Cape Coral is 405, all of Cape Coral. All right, so then you want to multiply that number. So say we're talking Cape Coral only. Multiply the Cape Coral number, so 405, by 2.5%. So does somebody want to do the math for me?
Oh, yeah, that ain't right.
10, 125.
Yeah, 10,125. So that says by 2.5%. So that for me, I see buyer's commission, right? If you're talking seller commission, you might be able to jump that up to 3%, right? Because 3% for you, maybe 3% for the other agent. Just really depends on what you want to do. But I also did 3% as well. And I got 12,150, right? So these numbers is important to know because we're gonna basically reverse engineer it to determine, okay, how many buyers do I need to work to get to $250,000? How many, sellers do I need to work to get to $100,000? Whatever your number, your magic number is, you're basically gonna reverse engineer that by this data, right? Knowing your median sales price, knowing how much more or less you're gonna get per commission. So like that, you can then know, okay, this is my number. This is what I'm striving for. So number 10, this is calculate your net income per sale. So after paying out whatever you have to pay out, which, if you're on a commission split, obviously you're going to have to pay out, 20%. Be on the team, you have to pay out 25%. So basically now you have to just deduct that to get a little bit more of an accurate number because we're not going to walk away with $10,000 as much as we would want. We're going to walk away with a little less. So knowing that number afterwards is also very important. Does that make sense? You guys follow?
Yep.
Okay, perfect. So, okay, so say what I did was off of this example, $405,000 median sales price times 2.5%, I get 10,125 minus a 20%, minus a 25%, I got 6,000, just over $6,000. Okay. Now we're gonna take that $6,000. Okay. It says multiply that number with the number of sales that we did on step 7, which was this step. So remember I said, I just gave numbers, right? I said 10, 5 equals 15. So 15. So if we take $6,000 times that by 15, how much do we get?
61,000
Is that
eight
about right?
hundred and 75.
Jeanette, what did you do?
Wait, I don't know what I did. I'm looking back at it, I'm like, where did I get that number from? Huh?
That's incorrect.
Yeah,
90,000?
seriously.
90,000.
Okay.
So if my goal was $100,000, I'm just under this exercise makes me realize I'm just under 90, right? I'm just under 100,000. So I'm at 90,000. So that's where I have to go back, which it says here, make necessary adjustments, right? So you have to go back and maybe say, okay, maybe I need to work a little bit more buyers, or maybe I need to work a little bit more sellers. So now you know, okay, I need 10 buyers. I'm striving for 10 buyers. I'm striving for 5 sellers, or I'm striving for whatever your numbers are, right? That is what you're going to be striving for. And then you can kind of, so this is reverse engineering, right? This is what that means to say, okay, if my goal is this, what will it take? How many sales do I have to, make at the end of the year to be able to get that magic number? So you have to adjust it according to yours. And this is basically what I wanted to go over first. Do you guys have any questions on this before I move on to, like, this is overall? Now we're gonna kind of take it into a little bit more of a bite-size piece. No questions?
No,
It's pretty, straightforward, right? It makes sense.
yeah, it does. Don't ask me where I got those numbers from, but yeah.
Yeah, I would
I have to
recommend
check my calculator, use a different one. Weird.
it's I would recommend, you guys taking some time to, like, answer these questions. We're gonna find them again on the Agent's Playbook. So if you go down here is a business planning. So we just did the first 6, if I'm not mistaken. Multiply that number, calculate, yeah. No, we did the first 7. So we did the first 7 pages. Then everything else is kind of like, it gets more into details. But I wanted to first, touch on that, because then we're gonna take that information and we're gonna again like move it into, okay, what is our weekly goals? What is our daily goals? Right? Because we need to be able to be working towards that. Obviously, not off the bat, you're gonna think, oh, today I'm gonna get 10 buyers and today I'm gonna get 5 sellers. No, it doesn't. I wish it works that way, but you have to like work at that goal little by little. So first it starts with knowing the bigger picture, and then making a little bit more like smaller, kind of going down the funnel to be able to say, okay, this is a year, this is my yearly goal, this is my monthly goal, this is my weekly goal, this is my daily goal. So now we went over the yearly. So basically now what we have to do is, in here as well, you're going to find a 1 week business plan. Okay, this is from Mike Ferry. And I thought this was pretty awesome because it literally goes over like everything, right? So it shows your goal for the week. So you want to do this either on a Sunday or on a Monday, whatever. Whenever you plan out your week, I plan out my week on Sundays at night. So this would be, this would be a good opportunity to do at that time, where you're going to say, okay, how many days am I going to work this week in my business? What's the goal? Is it 3 days? Is it 4 days? You want to write down that number. Then you want to move to the total number of prospecting, total hours of prospecting. So how many hours are you going to prospect when you're working in your business? What's the magic number? Is it 5 hours? Is it 6 hours? So you want to then go ahead and put 6 hours. What's your contact goal? So Lucy said last week, do you guys remember how many messages she gave you guys as a challenge? Michelle, I know you weren't here. So this is more,
25.
yeah. So she said 25, right? 25 messages. And that was the contact goal, right? So depending on what your contact goal is, which might be a little bit different, you want to have a goal. Okay, today or this week, I want to be able to talk to 10 people, right? Out of 10 people, I should be able to get at least 1 lead or 2 leads. You want to have a contact goal.
Is this like on the phone?
Yes. So this is on the phone. How many people are you gonna talk to? I mean, you can talk to people in text messages, right? Like if they respond back, then you're having a conversation with the person. But if they don't respond back and it's a one way, you know, you're sending out a message and you're not sending a message back, that's not contact. That's just a message being sent. So that's conversations, whether they're on the phone, in text messages, or on Facebook Messenger, you know, whatever. If it's talking about business and you're having a two-way conversation, that's a contact. Good question, Michelle.
Okay.
Okay, so leads generated goal. So how many leads do you want to generate that week? Okay. You know, you can shoot for the stars, whatever it may be. You know, you want to be able to reverse engineer what you do, right? So if by the end of the week, right, you put all of, or in the beginning of the week, you fill this all out and you say, okay, these are my goals. Then by the end of the week, when you're reviewing your week, you say, okay, this is my actual numbers. This is what I was able to achieve. And if you say, okay, my contact goal was 10, but I only actually contacted 5. But within that 5, I got 1 lead. So now you see that, okay, if I double that, so next week, if I say, um, I want to contact 20 people, and you actually contacted 10, right? And you get 2 leads, that's even better. So you want to be able to, you know, multiply what you're doing. And you won't be able to know how to multiply unless you actually do it and see what the results are for that. Does that make sense?
Yes.
Okay. So, leads generated goals, total listing presentation. So how many listing presentations did you go on? How many do you want to go on? And how many did you go on? Total listings taken. So out of those listings, now this could be, now I should say, right? This says listing presentations. Obviously, pretty soon we're gonna like treat buyers as listings. So, you know, we're gonna have to probably tweak this or add a little bit more to it and say, you know, how many buyer presentations did I go on? How many listing presentations did I go on? Stuff like that. Because obviously, you know, pretty soon buyers are going to be, well, right now they should be treated as listings. So you might have to put an extra, you know, slot for that for specifically for buyers. So totals listing taken, how many listings did you actually take out of the presentations that you went on? Did you take 1? Did you take 0? Total listings sold. So once you actually start getting listings, did you sell any listing that week, right? Did any of your things went under contract? So basically that is what that means. Buyer control sales. Did you close on any buyer leads? How many did you close on? How many do you want to close on? Total price reductions. That's again, you got to have listings to be able to reduce prices, right? If you don't have any listings, that would be 0. But once you get listings, how many did you reduce? And then number of role-playing sessions. So role-playing is really important, guys. I know we haven't done any role-playings yet, but I highly recommend. I know everyone's schedule is a little crazy and all over the place, but you know, role-playing, even if it's just like 30 minutes out of the day, you know, you guys can pair up with each other, you know, practice your scripts, role play. I mean, that's crucial. I mean, you want to be able to practice before you get on the phones. So you should have a goal. How many role plays do you want to do this week? And how many did you actually do? And then there's some other goals. So whatever's not listed on here, you would just jot this down and you would have a section for that as well. So this is your 1 week business plan. So in the beginning of the week, you know, you want to take some time to do that and jot those down and then review everything at the end of the week. Questions, comments, concerns?
Easy enough.
It's pretty straightforward. I mean, this stuff is really like really simple, right?
Yeah.
This is simple, but actually like
Doing it is something else.
yeah.
Yes, I know, trust me. Which is why like this, you know, I know we did a project like a suggested, you know, action plan and suggested schedule, but if you're taking time to actually do your jam sessions, do your outbound calls, you know, stuff like that, like, you know, you'll be able to fill this in a lot easier, but you won't be able to fill it in if you're not doing it. You know what I mean? So, how do you guys feel about that though? Like when it comes down to reverse engineering and, knowing your goals, knowing what you want to strive for, and little by little kind of striving to it. Like, how do you guys feel about that?
Good. I think it holds us accountable, like that we're actually doing what we're supposed to be doing as far as like investing in our business and moving it forward as agents.
Yeah, I love that. I love that because it's true. I mean, again, if you don't know what you're striving for, you're shooting in the dark, right? So how do you know you're actually striving for your goal if you don't know what that goal is? So, taking the time to do the business planning, to reverse engineering your numbers, to, doing your weekly business plans, right? And then to review it at the end of the week. Like these are stuff that business owners do. Why are we like not doing it for us, right? As agents, because we're at the end of the day, we're business owners. We own our real estate business. So we have to treat this just like somebody who's running a store, running Target, running, whatever the case may be. Like they run their numbers, they know their numbers, and we should know ours as well. So that's why I think that this is really important to start building the habit earlier in your real estate business than later because it's going to be a little bit harder, right? To like, to create that habit, but it's never impossible. You just have to do it every day on a daily basis. So we went through the 1 week plan. So the last thing is the daily plan, the daily business tracker. So this is also, I think Jeanette has seen this before. Michelle, I'm not too sure if you've seen this. Um, but this is the daily business plan. So, really what you're gonna be looking at is here. Oh, cool. I didn't know I can do that. This is when you're on the phone, right? And you're doing your jam sessions. So when you're in your 90-minute jam sessions, you're calling your people, you're doing outbound calls. So as you are calling people, you should be tracking like, okay, spoke to one person and, cross it off. Spoke to two people, cross it off. And then each area is a different area. So depending on who you're prospecting, so it could be expireds, it could be FISBOs, it could be cancels, it could be sphere of influence follow-ups, door knocking, open house follow-ups, whatever the case may be. This is kind of like helping you like see, okay, I talked to one person, I talked to two people, I talked to three people. And then it also kind of gives you that as well, where it says contact goal. So on if your goal is to contact 5 people a day, put 5 people. Then at the end of your 90-minute jam sessions, how many people were you able to reach? I only reached 3 people. Okay, so what happened, right? What happened? Was it the time of the day? Was it maybe you got a lot of like bad numbers? Was it you were like dragging your feet throughout the 90 minutes and you weren't actually calling back to back and it took you longer to call people? Like that's where you have to sit back. Like after you're done with your 90-minute jam sessions, you should like sit down and be like, okay, let's evaluate my numbers. What happened? What kind of objections did I have? So there's a section here on objections. So you can jot down, okay, these were the objections I had. And then now you take some time to like, research objection handlers. I heard, I heard the interest rate objection like 13 times today. All right, well, how did I handle it? And how can I handle it the next time? What can I learn from it? So, everything is like, again, bite-sized pieces, but then improving as you're going. So as long as you're taking time to review all of your stuff, at the end of the day, at the end of the week, is really gonna help you like see your business from like third party, right? Because it's one thing to be in it and be like, you're calling people and you're getting good conversations or you're getting objections and all that stuff. And then there's another thing like seeing, okay, I'm done with the phones. Now what happened? Let's review. And this is a good place to start is seeing your numbers. So what you can do is you can, print out these papers. You can have them in a binder. If you're a physical like paper kind of person, you can do that. Or you can take this and you can create like Excel sheets and you can plug it in that way. However you feel is best for you and how you like to operate and what works better in your brain. You can take this and just make it into yours. But what we wanted to do was give you just a benchmark. Like this is what you should be doing and giving you the resources to do it. Now it's up to you to actually implement it. So that's it. That's all I got for you guys. Do you guys have any questions?
Yeah,
Any
I do. So on this list, like when you have like the expireds, for example, how do we get contact numbers for them?
I love that question. So tomorrow at 12 o'clock, tune in to the celebration title intro because they actually have resources for FSBOs and expire listings, and they give it out to agents. So if you want contact information for expires and FSBOs, come tomorrow from 12 to about 12:30, 12:45-ish. She's going to be, kind of giving that information out.
At 12:30 earlier?
It's from 12 to around 12:30 or 12:45. It depends on how long it goes.
Are we supposed to physically be there or is it a call in?
No, it's a
Oh.
Zoom. Yeah, no,
Oh.
it's a Zoom. But be on Zoom is what I should say. Not be there, but be on Zoom. Yeah, from 12 to about 12. I'll say, if you could carve out 12 to 12:45, it shouldn't be longer than that. It'll probably be shorter. I mean, she's gonna go over all the resources, and that's what I'm saying. So there's a way that we can get expired numbers and FSBO numbers from them. They can give that to us.
Okay, I have that class, so I'm gonna try and jump on as early as I can. We'll see.
Okay. So yeah, that's really that's great. I think that I know some of you guys came in a little later. We have this recorded, so we can send it out to you guys afterwards if you want to watch the pre-recording. But we went over the business planning. We went over how to take your, yearly goal and break it up to bite-sized pieces so you can then get it into, monthly goals, weekly goals, to daily goals, right? And be able to work towards your magic number. So I would highly recommend to go back. The resources are in the drive. I think you have the agent playbook that you can find it in. And if you have questions about that after watching the video, watch the video first. And if you still have questions, you can reach out to me. But it was a really good session. I hope you guys liked it. I hope you got something out of it. But if there's anything else that you need help with as far as business planning goes, just reach out to me and I'll try my best to help you guys out.
All right.
All right. Any questions?
Talia, didn't you switch it to 7 o'clock? That's why I logged into 7.
No.
I even, okay.
It's 6:30 to 7.
Mm-hmm.
We're never
Mm.
gonna change it.
Okay, I thought you switched it. So it was probably a reminder that I got, and it said maybe, okay. Sorry about that.
It's okay.
I was honestly able to do it at 6:30. I thought you switched it at 7.
It's all right. No worries.
Okay.
I'll send you the recording once it's available so you can rewatch it.
As soon as possible, yeah. Please.
All
So
right.
yeah, 1:30 is set for 1:30 for tomorrow.